Wait a second, there's a freaking...
No, you missed it, man. No. Mate, these are Australian insects, you can't find them.
I was gonna...
You know, it was a valiant effort.
John Boyega. The dude has fought with Jedi powers, he's fought off evil aliens in the cult British classic Attack the Block, and now he's fighting in a giant robot suit in the brand new Pacific Rim. But building a career in the movie business? Yeah, that was the real fight.
Sorry guys, just to sync it up. John Boyega.
Hey mate.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, lovely to meet you too, man.
So, one of the things that I don't know how many people know this, but long before you got the Star Wars role, you were literally there helping out friends with auditions, like, you know, setting up the cameras, reading other lines.
The most awkward few weeks of my life.
So at some point are you just going, where's my phone call?
Yeah, yeah. I had actor friends who would call me and be like, yo, bro, can you help me? I need you to put this scene on tape for me. I'd be like, oh, what's it for? And they'd be like, oh, it's for Star Wars. I'd be like, oh, cool. Yeah, man, I help you out, you know. Where's my phone call, damn it?
And so when did it, because it was like 6, 7 months of like auditioning process before you actually got the call. So when do you first realize you're actually in contention?
You go into, well, you can only read this script at Pinewood and you learn the lines at Pinewood. You can't take the script home.
And you don't know the story either, really.
Yeah, you don't really know the story. There's scenes that some of them are like fake scenes and all this kind of stuff, but they embody the character in a certain way. And then you go into audition in front of JJ, in front of Kathy, and it just, every round was getting much more closer and closer. And then we had a camera test with costumes and all that kind of stuff.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was great. It was a real good feeling. But I was like, you lot are taking a mick, man. Imagine I don't get this part. I would have just been running around costume for nothing, man. So
Did you ever consider like that moment where you're like, even if I don't get this role, I'm gonna steal this outfit?
I mean, I took a picture of the script.
Really?
Yeah, that's the.
You can say that now.
Yeah,
You're 2 sequels deep. You're good.
Yeah. I took a picture of the script and took it home to learn, because I was just like, how you guys gonna give me like 10 pages and I can't even study them day and night? Like, I gotta make this work.
So that moment when you get the phone call, correct me if I'm wrong, but you literally emptied out your bank balance to get to the meeting.
I think it was £75, and wherever that driver was, you bumped me, because that price, it was ridiculous. I had to empty out my account. It actually went into minus.
Oh my God. So you empty out
There was no
account.
way of me getting back. I had to walk back. I had to walk from the cafe in Mayfair to Tottenham Court Road to meet my agent. And he gave me a bit of money to get home.
So sad. He's like, I know you're good for it now. You're in a Star Wars movie.
I mean, the money didn't get straight into the account when JJ said yes. You think that would happen with...
I assume he has those powers.
No. It's like, you got the part.
So you walk into this room and is the cafe empty? Is that how it works?
His side of the cafe was empty. It was some Godfather stuff. And he was on his phone.
Thick-rimmed Godfather.
And he was just there like this. And he goes, and the first thing he was like, do you want a drink? And he was on his phone and he never looked up. And he kind of thanked me for being part of the process and told me he knew that it was hard and blah, blah, blah. And then he told me that I'd be a part of it.
Did you immediately break into tears? It's like, it has been hard.
I was relieved, because I was kind of like, well, I kind of said no to a few other things for this opportunity, not knowing whether it would work or not. But, you know, the biggest one deserved the biggest kind of risk and the biggest kind of commitment. So I'm glad it all worked out, because I would have been on crack if it didn't.
And there's my headline.
And there's the headline.
But it's interesting, like, looking at the choices you immediately made after that, before you get to Pacific Rim. So Detroit is a really interesting movie, and I actually sat down and rewatched it on the weekend. Yeah. And I've heard you describe it as the biggest thing you had done, which I think is confusing to people, because you'd just done Star Wars. And it means a lot historically in terms of race relations in America. For you, where are the challenges in playing a role like that?
Well, you're telling somebody else's story, you know, essentially, and at the same time you're embodying some very sensitive years. There's a responsibility there, you know?
Algiers Motel, 3 African-American men were assassinated.
You don't talk about this to anyone ever. You understand?
The young black male was being charged for something that he didn't do, for something that he wasn't involved in the context that the police were saying. That directly links to what happens in real life. There's a feeling of being let down by the very system that you put a sense of hope in, you know what I mean? And so that does things to you, man, and is real enough to make the audience go, okay, cool, he's just not acting this, there's a real feel to all of this.
Here we go, ready, and action!
So, Pacific Rim.
Yes.
John Boyega and a giant robot.
Yeah.
Hey, so interesting thing about this film is that you also produced it as well. You're a production company.
Yeah.
I'm curious for you, why is it important for you to take control of your career that way?
Well, it's a new way of finding opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, whereas you're active for hire, you're literally waiting for the phone to ring, for the agency to call. Every day I'm learning and I'm growing, and I guess the thing I need to learn is not being too hard on myself. You know, just to.
Why do you
chill.
get hard on yourself? What sort of?
Of course, because you want to be effective in everything you do, in work ethic and everything. Because sometimes I just want to chill, eat jelly babies and watch anime. I got to learn how to put that down sometimes, man.
Mate, if I'd known, would have brought you jelly babies. If I knew that was your thing, I would have done it.
That was me actually hinting the next interview.
Can we get some jelly babies?
Yeah, come. Allow it.
Just ask you before I let you go, of everything that you've done, what project did you learn the most about yourself on?
I say The Brick.
Oh yeah.
The Brick was a HBO show that
Didn't happen.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And the phone started ringing, stopped ringing, you know, it was quiet, you know, no auditions, nothing. And it was like in a sense, like everybody would love to tap the block, and I booked this HBO pilot with Spike Lee, and you know, he's a credible director, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're back to your normal life, and then you have to work up again, you know? And that for me was definitely a learning curve and a slap in the face. You ain't shit. But it was cool though, it was good to learn that. I mean, it teaches you a lot of stuff. And being true to your damn mistakes as well. And what makes you an asshole sometimes.
Oh really? What makes John Boyega an asshole sometimes?
None of your damn business now, damn it. I had a real problem growing up listening.
Yeah.
Listening was an issue to me, and I misconstrued a lot of stuff that was said to me, and that would lead to a lot of anger. And once I started sorting that out, my opportunities were much more better, and the connections I had with other people, other human beings, I was able to connect with the better side of themselves, you know?
And if you look back on that time now, what would you do differently?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing at all?
No regrets, bro. I'm here right now, and this is where I wanted to be at the time. But at the time, I wasn't ready for it. And I'm glad I didn't get it, because Lord have mercy. There were still some things I needed to experience in private. There's still some things I need to understand, you know. And I love the fact that I've had my I'm still young till 25, but my teenage life, that's been mine, you know. And we've been my boys and doing teenage stuff, and I've had a normal life for a significant amount of time. Normal enough for me to go, okay, cool, I'm ready for this next stage and this next trajectory.
John Boyega, you're an absolute legend. Thanks so much, man.
All right, GG.
Took us on.